Welcome to Minecraft Let's Play, episode 209. Today, we are talking about the unification of Italy. There are three Italian heroes who are considered by most historians to have contributed the most to the unification of Italy: Mazzini, Cavour, and Garibaldi.
Mazzini, Cavour, and Garibaldi all intended to unify Italy to different extents, as they all had secondary aims to achieve through the unification of Italy, respectively obtaining a republic for Italy, achieving Piedmontese expansion, and spreading democracy throughout the world. In this Let's Play, we'll be examining whether their intentions were stronger towards unifying Italy or their secondary aims.
Each of these Italian heroes had both primary or unifying aims, as well as secondary ones. First, let's talk about Mazzini. Mazzini founded Young Italy in 1831, which was a political movement made up of Italians under the age of 40, with the aim of creating a united Italian republic by promoting the insurrection of Italian reactionary states. Moreover, this can be considered Mazzini's action toward the unification of Italy.
Mazzini was also a well-respected writer throughout all of Italy for his patriotic writings, one of which is The Duties of Man, published in 1862. The Duties of Man states that a man's primary duty is to his family, and the second being to a united and unified country. It also mentions that patriotism should be a religion, and that national principles do not override universal principles. Therefore, every nation should cooperate in harmony for the welfare of the planet, instead of every nation acting for its own interests.
Lastly, Mazzini led revolutions in 1834 aimed at invading Savoy from Switzerland, which failed due to an incompetent Genoan general who lost all men in the attempt. Mazzini's secondary aim, as seen in the Cosmopolitanism of Nations, a collection of Mazzini's most important writings, was to make Italy into a republic ruled by the Pope or King of Piedmont Sardinia, because they were more liberal. A lasting impact on the unification of Italy was the complex railroad system that Cavour wrote about and implemented in 1846. In his book titled On Railroads in Italy, he stated that if the railroads should reduce these obstacles, perhaps even make them disappear, they will be among the factors most favorable to the spirit of Italian nationalism. As a result, the railroads also boosted Italy's economy, as she was able to transport goods in a more efficient manner. Cavour further contributed to Italian unification by preventing Garibaldi's invasion of French territory in order to annex Rome in September of 1860. Cavour accomplished this by using the Piedmontese army to halt Garibaldi's attempted invasion of the French-guarded Vatican, which could have been extremely harmful to the ties between Italy and France. Rome will feel the blade of my sword.
No, you shall not pass beyond this point. Under the command of Prime Minister Cavour, I, the general of the Piedmontese army, prevent you from attacking the Vatican. If you pass, you will feel the wrath of my army. After the extremely successful fight at the Kingdom of Two Sicilies, Garibaldi claimed his newly conquered territory for himself, but was persuaded by Cavour to hand over his conquest to King Victor Emmanuel in 1861.
Count Cavour has persuaded me to forfeit my rule of the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. I hereby hand over my conquest to you, King Victor Emmanuel. Cavour's main secondary aim was achieving the expansion of Piedmont, given his political position as prime minister. Moreover, he created the Plombiers Agreement with Napoleon III in 1858 by using his realpolitik strategies. This gave up Nice and Savoy to France in exchange for French military aid, which he would use to reconquer Lombardy and Venice from Austrian control. By doing this, Cavour would use the newly acquired territory for Piedmontese expansion.
Garibaldi's army of 1,000 men, or redshirts, sailed for the Kingdom of Two Sicilies and defeats the Austrian forces in a swift battle in May of 1860, which grants Garibaldi the control of southern Italy.
Even after Italy was politically unified, there were still some old Italian territories that were occupied by foreign powers, known as Italian Irredenta, or our redeemed land. The three largest Italian Irredentas were Rome, Nice, and Savoy. These were all occupied by the French at one point. Garibaldi felt it was necessary to gain these territories and secure them under Italy. He was particularly angered by Cavour's decisions to include Nice in the Plombières Agreement, and he was born there.
Unlike Cavour and Mancini, Garibaldi's secondary aim applied to a more global scale and consisted of spreading democracy throughout the world with the aid of his respected military reputation. For example, he was asked by President Abraham Lincoln to command the Union Army in the Civil War of the United States. Garibaldi declined Lincoln's offer, but encouraged him to abolish slavery and fully supported the Emancipation Proclamation.
In conclusion, evidence such as documents and sources from the time period suggests that Cavour was more devoted to his secondary aims, in a way that Piedmontese expansion replaced Italian unification and became his main goal. On the other hand, Mazzini and Garibaldi remained consistent with the intention of unifying Italy, even though they did have secondary aims as well.